up, a Cinema Shogun here, and as soon as Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, I think it was safe to assume that that slap would have a negative impact on his career. Although, at the moment, it was unclear as to how big of an impact it would have on his career because, after all, he was allowed to literally walk back to his seat and then get a freaking award and give a speech and then get jiggy with it afterwards. So it was clear that he wasn't going to face the same consequences that someone else might. If it had been anyone else, it would have gone way differently. If Will Smith was a different race, it would have gone way differently. But, you know, Hollywood has their narratives and they're doing whatever they can to still try to protect Will Smith and Jada and paint them out to be the victims in this situation. But now we are hearing about some of the consequences that Will Smith will face because some of these movie studios are backing out of movie deals that they had with Will Smith. Netflix being the first one to do so. Netflix backs away from Will Smith film Fast and Loose. The week before the Oscars ceremony, director David Leitch, in a stroke of unintentional good timing, withdrew as the director of a planned Netflix movie, Fast and Loose, starring Will Smith. Instead, he moved into Fall Guy, starring Ryan Gosling for Universal, which is supposed to start production in August. A source says Netflix was competing with Universal to be the next project for Leitch, but Universal pulled ahead. According to sources, Netflix put out an urgent call for another director to take over a project featuring the star who is heavily favored to win Best Actor at the Oscars. But soon, after Smith's attack on Chris Rock on the Oscar stage, Netflix quietly moved the project to the back burner. Fast and Loose was to tell the story of a crime boss who loses his memory after an attack. Piecing together clues, he discovers that he has led a double identity as a wealthy kingpin and a broke CIA agent. It appears that Netflix was understandably wary of moving forward. It is unclear whether it will try to make the project with another star and director. So, I mean, I think they made the... I don't want to say I think they made the right decision here because I'm not an advocate of canceling people. Like, even when people do stupid things like Will Smith did, I don't necessarily want Will Smith to lose all of his jobs. Although, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. You know, I'm not going to be laying in my bed tonight and just struggling to sleep because Will Smith lost a couple of movie deals. Will Smith is going to be okay. However, I'm not like a big cancel culture person. So when people say and do things stupid, I don't think that they should necessarily lose everything that they've worked for. But I think it's funny how Netflix quietly put this movie on the back burner. Had it been someone else, Netflix would have felt the need to virtue signal. From the high heavens, they would have climbed to the tallest mountain. Ollie, oxen free! You know, just making sure their voice rings throughout the valleys below. That this movie was canceled because the actor is such a bad person. But because it's Will Smith, and because of, I guess, maybe his race, because they seem like they're trying to protect a certain narrative over there in Hollywood, they don't want to do that. They don't want to be deemed as bad people or racist for canceling Will Smith's movie, even though Will Smith just did something horrible and horrendous at the Oscars. Because these people are more concerned about their image now. And they think, oh, well, if we're too harsh on Will Smith, people will say it's because of white supremacy and because we're racist. So we have to take it easy on Will Smith. Plus, and there's all these conversations out there that are being had that white people shouldn't be addressing the situation because it's between two black men. So that's how a lot of these woke Hollywood idiots feel. And there's even been some woke idiots in my comment section that said something like that as well. Listen, I don't care what race Will Smith is. I don't care what race anyone is. We all have the right to talk about whatever we want to talk about. And my lily white ass will sit here and talk about Will Smith for days on end if I freaking want to. So, with that being said, Netflix puts this on the back burner, but they don't really make a big to-do about it, you know, which I'm not saying they should have, but if it was anyone else, we know they would have. But that movie sounded kind of interesting. Okay, whatever. The bigger deal is that Sony, after getting this news about Netflix, Sony has stepped up and they have put a halt on Bad Boys 4, the fourth installment of the Bad Boys film franchise. Now, everyone likes Bad Boys. Bad Boys 2. I haven't seen Bad Boys 3. I've seen the first two. They're not my favorite Will Smith movies. I know everyone goes crazy over them. I just never really watched them when they came out, and I never really formed a connection with them. Not saying that they're bad, but of course, I mean, I liked Will Smith, and I like Martin Lawrence, and I mean, I think this sucks for fans of the Bad Boys franchise that now we possibly might not get a Bad Boys 4 due to this Will Smith slap. Now, I haven't seen Bad Boys 3, so maybe this is a good thing. Because they're really trying to milk these sequels in Hollywood nowadays and these reboots, so maybe this is a good thing. I haven't seen the last one. But, I mean, it's got to be kind of devastating for Will Smith because this is one of his most recognizable franchises. And Will Smith was actually given 40 pages of a script right before the Oscars. They gave him 40 pages of the script for Bad Boys 4 right before the Oscars, and then announced that the film was put on ice literally right after the Oscars. So, whoa. I'm sure he's upset about that. But at the end of the day, this is kind of to be expected. But industry sources are saying that they want to assess how tarnished Will Smith's reputation is before they just move forward with all these movies. Which, when you have to protect your investments, and movies are investments, people invest a lot of money in these movies that they expect to get back, you know, maybe even make a profit off of, then you have to be very careful. So what Hollywood is doing right now, they're trying to gauge how everyone's feeling. They're testing the waters for a little while. So all of these Will Smith projects, they're going to be put on the back burner to see how we as a society reacts. They don't care about what Will Smith did. They don't care about any of that. They don't care about how Chris Rock feels. They don't care about how Jada feels. They only care about making money. So what they're going to do here is they're going to test the waters. They want to make sure that we're not too upset. Because if we're not upset about Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, then they would have never canceled the movies because they just want the money. They don't care about the social impact this had. They don't care about all of the, the layers of this story. They don't care about none of that. They only care about the popular reaction to the situation, because that is a direct indicator of how well Will Smith's movies might do in the box office. So if everyone's hating Will Smith, best believe the movie studios are going to go right along with that. Like, they hate Will Smith. If everyone thinks that what Will Smith did was wrong, the studios are going to act like what Will Smith did was wrong. And they're going to put his movies on the back burner. But if we as a society decided that what Will Smith did was right, and that Will Smith was still cool for what he did, then all of the movies would still be going forward. They're all reacting off of how we as the public are reacting. So I don't think this is the end for Will Smith. Not by a long shot. Will Smith can redeem himself. Will Smith is one of the biggest stars to ever live, and it's going to take a little more than this Oscar slap to knock him back down to earth. Now, did this knock him down a few pegs? Yes. And recent history has knocked him down a few pegs as well. He's not the leading man that he once was, and all of this drama that's going on with Jada has really, made people look at Will differently. But I don't think Will's career is over. He'll bounce back from this, but however, I do find it telling the type of movies that are getting canceled, because a lot of people thought that Will Smith going up there and smacking Chris Rock was him grabbing his manhood back and getting his masculinity back, And you would think that if that was the case, these big action movies wouldn't feel the need to cancel, because what Will Smith did was supposedly macho in some people's eyes. I expected that Will Smith would lose some roles, but I thought the roles that we would hear about him losing would be family-oriented roles. I don't think Will Smith is going to slap someone at the Oscars and then be on the next Disney Kids movie. Now, I'm not saying that he won't be in the future, but I just thought that he would lose some of his more family-oriented, kid-oriented projects, as opposed to him losing these action films after he just slapped someone and looked like an action star on the Oscars. So I feel like that is kind of telling as to how big of an impact it will have, because not only is he losing, whatever kiddie projects he had going on, but these grown men projects that are supposed to be about grown, tough men who like to slap people, they're getting canceled as well. So that's not a good look for Will Smith. But like I said, he'll bounce back. I'm sure he will. But I want to know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. And as always, find some time out of your day to go watch a movie.